In this video, we are going to see the Arrhenius concept of acids and bases. In the previous videos, we have seen the different ways to classify acid and bases. Arrhenius gave a very nice concept to detect whether the given substance is acid or base. For that, let us see what is Arrhenius acid first. According to this, let me take one example. If I take HCl, when I write aqueous here, means I am adding this to water. Very important to mark, whenever you will take a very strong electrolyte like HCl, I will be using an arrow in this way, which indicates that it dissociates almost completely. In place of HCl, if you take a weak acid, say for example acetic acid, then I will not use an arrow in this way. In place of this, I will be using an arrow in this way. So this is very important to mark that when you use the irreversibility sign, you are defining or you are using this for a strong electrolyte, while this arrow is used for a weak electrolyte. So this is very important to write, students. So let us see what is that HCl. If I add this HCl to water, what I will get is H plus aqueous and Cl minus aqueous. According to Arrhenius, acid is a substance which when dissolved in water, if it gives H plus ions, then it is acid. Very easy. So what is Arrhenius acid? According to Arrhenius, acid is a substance which when dissolved in water gives H plus ions. What can be the other way to give the definition? That according to Arrhenius, acid is a substance whose water solution gives H plus ions. Both means the same, that in both the cases the substance has to release H plus ions. So according to Arrhenius, HCl is an acid. Let us see the second example, that is H2SO4. When I dissolve this in water, it's a strong acid, student. So I am using this arrow. So what I will get is 2H plus and SO4 2 minus. Is it giving H plus ions? Yes. So this is also an acid according to Arrhenius. Let us see the third example, that is HNO3. I am putting that in water. I am using this arrow because this is a strong electrolyte. It will give me H plus, aqueous and NO3 minus, that is nitrate ion. So this is also a acid according to Arrhenius. Let us see now what is a base according to Arrhenius. So I am just changing this part, student, because remaining definition remains the same. So let us see what is a Arrhenius base. For that again I am taking one example. I am taking NaOH. I will add this to water. What I will get, student? You can practice this simultaneously. It will be Na plus aqueous plus OH minus aqueous. Please make a practice of writing this. Very important and useful. If I see NaOH, what it is giving, student, here is OH minus ion, and so NaOH was classified as base according to Arrhenius. So what can be the definition for a Arrhenius base? It is a substance which when dissolved in water gives OH minus ions or hydroxyl ions. So what is NaOH? NaOH is a base according to Arrhenius. Let us see the second example, KOH. K plus OH minus. Is it a base? Yes, because it is giving hydroxyl ions. Let me take one more example, aluminium hydroxide. Aluminium hydroxide, if I write, how it will form the ion, student, here? It will give me, so for that I am writing here aqueous. This is a weak base, so I can have here Al3 plus 3OH minus. Is it a base according to Arrhenius? Yes, it's a base according to Arrhenius because it is giving hydroxyl ions. So what is an acid and a base according to Arrhenius? According to Arrhenius, you can repeat with me students. Arrhenius, acid is a substance which when dissolved in water gives H plus ions, while Arrhenius base is a substance which when dissolved in water gives hydroxyl or OH minus ion. Concept is very easy. Then what do you think will be the limitation to this particular concept? So let us see the limitations to Arrhenius theory. According to Arrhenius, I have to dissolve the substance in water if I want to know its acidic or basic character. So if that means what? What will be the first limitation, student? The first limitation is to know whether the substance is acid or a base. I have to dissolve that in water. I have to dissolve that in water. Means HCl, if I take this in the dry form or the gas form, then I cannot find out whether it is an acid or a base. So that was the first limitation to Arrhenius. What was the first limitation? To know the substance whether it is acid or basis, I have to dissolve that in water. So that was the first limitation. See the second limitation. Let us revise the concept of acid. If I take HCl and I dissolve it in water, I get H plus and Cl minus ions. Means to liberate H plus, the species must have a hydrogen here in the given molecule. Means what? The substances like I have CuSO4. It is copper sulfate. There is no H here. So when I will dissolve this in water, it won't give me H plus. Right? So according to that, Arrhenius, this is not an acid. But actually this is acidic in nature. So what was the second limitation? That the substance must have H in the molecule in order to predict that it is acidic in nature. I think I am clear here that to know the substance whether it is acidic, the molecule or the substance must have H in the molecule. Means what? He could not explain the acidic nature of CuSO4, CO2, SO2. He could not explain why those substances they are acidic because they don't have protons, and when you will add them to water they will not give H plus. Concept is very easy here. Similarly, on this note, the substances must have OH ions or OH attached in the molecule to predict them as basic, right? According to the examples, let us go back. NaOH, when dissolved in water, it will give me OH minus ions. KOH, when dissolved in water, it will give me OH minus ions. So he called them basic. But some substances like ammonia, you know students, ammonia is basic. So if I see ammonia, there is no OH group here, but still it is basic in nature. Pyridine or pyridine, if I see, there is no OH ion present there, but still this is basic. Arrhenius could not explain the basic nature of ammonia or pyridine. So this was the third limitation. Let us see the last limitation, which is very, very important, that whenever we say that a substance is dissolved in water, what happens to that, student? So let me just clean this. Fourth limitation is very, very important, and you have studied that in 10th standard. Say for example, I am adding HCl in water. What it gives me is H plus aqueous and Cl minus aqueous. When I write aqueous here, what it means that this H plus ion is not naked. Means what? It is not free. Means what? Why it is not free? Because it is surrounded by water molecules. That is, H plus is in the vicinity of water and therefore H plus does not exist, but it exists in the form of H3O plus, that is hydronium ion. Then on what basis Arrhenius says that substances they give H plus ion? They should give hydronium ion. So this was the last limitation to Arrhenius. Arrhenius could not explain all the four things. The first thing is that in order to know that the substance is acidic or basic, you have to dissolve that in water. Second limitation was the substance must have H in the molecule, means those substances which do not have H, they cannot be classified as acids according to Arrhenius. Substances who do not have OH in them cannot be classified as bases according to Arrhenius. And the last and very important limitation to Arrhenius, that H plus ion is never free or is never naked, because every ion is always solvated or hydrated, and therefore according to the reaction H plus must be solvated or hydrated or must be surrounded in this way by water, and therefore it must exist in the hydronium form, that is H3O plus, and therefore this was the fourth limitation to Arrhenius concept. Just let me give you how it is solvated. So for that, if I see the H plus ion in this way, water molecule surrounds this in this way. This is your oxygen, hydrogen, hydrogen. So this type of bonding you see here. So this water molecule solvates or surrounds, and therefore H plus ion is not free. It is surrounded by water molecule, and what you get is hydronium. So those were the limitations to Arrhenius, and so we move on to the next theory, that is Lowry-Bronsted concept of acids and bases. Thank you, students.